Wow, that crazy scientist really is crazy. It's been quite a while since we first picked up the DJI OSMO, and to be fair, it's been great. Actually, it's quite impossible to put it down sometimes. For what it is, a handheld 4K camera with 3-axis stabilization, it offers really good value compared to alternative methods to achieve the same kind of tracking shots. But as you know, with any great gadget or camera, there are always a few things that we feel could kinda be better. So, in today's video, we want to share with you our most annoying things about the Osmo, and more importantly, how we overcome these issues. So, let's get straight to the chase.
Okay, so let's go through the most annoying things about the Osmo, but we're not just going to talk about them. We're actually going to find ways to fix these most annoying things. I could have chosen any number of things, but for the purpose of just getting something started as a discussion point, I thought I'll just focus on 4 areas that really bug me from time to time. Maybe these bug you too, but let's see what I want to cover here. So the first thing, the culprit, as I call them, is Wi-Fi connectivity. Big issue. Whenever I'm using the Osmo, I'll explain exactly the issues that I'm having and show you the kind of solutions that I've come up with. Next is audio related issues. I mean, this is a biggie. This is a well-known issue with the internal mic of the Osmo. Then I'm going to talk about drifting issues. These I experience mainly with time-lapse video. And then lastly, I'm going to look at Facebook Live feature, which is kind of like an added feature that came, I think, with the last firmware update, and my experience of using that. So the first one, Wi-Fi connectivity. Now this one covers quite a few issues, so I'm going to go through some of these issues first of all, and then I'm going to cover the solutions that I've come up with. So the first one is you just can't seem to be able to connect to the app. You're ready, you found your spot, you found your shot that you want to take, you take your Osmo out, you switch it on, and you wait for the Wi-Fi to appear in your list of available Wi-Fi networks, but for some reason it just is not able to connect. So this has happened to me numerous times, regardless of, it happens at home, it happens when we're out there in the field, and there doesn't seem to be any particular pattern as to what triggers this kind of behavior. Now the second one is the Wi-Fi takes time to kick in. So you wait for what seems like an eternity before you can actually recognize the Osmo Wi-Fi from the list of available networks on your mobile device. And this can really stretch on for quite a long time, depending. Again, I'm not sure what triggers this. But sometimes, and most times, it works just as expected. It kicks in immediately, but there are times where it doesn't. And I can't figure out why it does that. The next thing is too many Wi-Fi networks. So sometimes in the early days, I used to hunt for my Osmo network and not find where it is. It's stuck among the many networks that are available, and it can be quite a daunting task to identify your particular network, especially if it's taking time to kick in. You don't know where it is amongst that long list of networks available. And then the last one is Wi-Fi regularly dropping during use. Again, this is something that I notice primarily when I'm doing time lapses, and I can't figure out why this happens. But it is an annoyance, obviously. Now let's look at some of the solutions, and this has got nothing to do with the phone. And the reason why I know this is I use several different apps, camera related apps from other brands like GoPro, Panasonic GH4 and so on, with no issues at all, So it's obviously not the phone's fault. So let's rule that one out. So let's look at some of the solutions that I think can also help you if you have experienced some of these problems. So the first one is quite a simple one, but one which saves me quite a lot of time, is just to rename your Osmo Wi-Fi SSID. And this is how you do it. So to change your DJI Osmo Wi-Fi name, all you do is you make sure that the DJI Osmo is on, and then you obviously want to connect with the app Now once connected, you simply hit this gear icon at the bottom right hand corner here, and then you select General. In General, you just want to scroll to Wi-Fi settings, click that once, and then you will see here Wi-Fi SSID. Simply click that once. Notice our current Wi-Fi name is currently displaying as AA Brian Yasha Osmo, and the simple reason is we've wanted to leave a space, put two A's and then a B, which really should bring us to the top of any alphabetically listed Wi-Fi networks available at any one time. And to change that, all you simply need to do is to click that once, and then you can type in whatever is the new name that you want to call your network. After that, you click done, and then I think you probably have to reboot, or it will prompt you to reboot the phone and the app. And just as long as you haven't changed your Wi-Fi password from 12341234, which is the default one, you're good to go. Your Wi-Fi networks, if you're using the iPhone, I'm not too sure about Android, at least the available networks are all listed in alphabetical order. Now the default name for your Osmo Wi-Fi is always Osmo, followed by a string of numbers, so 394867 or something like that. So when you rename your Osmo and pick a name which is high up on the alphabetical listing, then when your Wi-Fi kicks in, it's always going to be at the top of the list of available networks. The next one that I always try to do first before I do anything is simply just switch off the Osmo, wait a couple of seconds, then switch it on again. And then you try to wait again for the Wi-Fi to appear on your list of available networks. The next one is a method that I use. You know, there are times where if you're having these connectivity issues, and let's say you've got a shot that is time sensitive, you know, you want to take that shot regardless of, you know, you've just seen it, or it could be, I don't know, beautiful sunset, whatever it is, and you don't have time to wait for the app to kick in, just start shooting. And by this, I mean you just simply switch the Osmo on and simply hit the record button. What this will do is it will start recording the video, obviously, but obviously this only works if you've left the video settings in a mode that is the one that you want to shoot in, for example. So because you're not able to change anything, you just be able to start shooting, but at least you are able to get the shot and not waste time waiting for the app to kick in, waiting for the Wi-Fi to kick in and stuff like that. The next method is this one I use typically when I'm doing like quick filter changes, and this is where you want to basically you've got your app already locked in and you've been using it for some time, but maybe the weather changes, maybe the sun comes out and you want to put on your filter. So rather than switching it off completely, I always use the standby mode, just to quickly put the camera in standby mode, then lock the gimbal, then take the old filter off, then I put the new filter on, and then I unlock all three axes of the gimbal, then simply tap the on button again, and that brings you back to an already connected status for your DJI Go app. Another handy little tip that helps me a lot is to have my camera related apps in a place where I can access them easily and quickly. So you may want to group your apps if you've got different cameras and so on into maybe a bundle that you call the camera apps, or even have it as a standalone, but somewhere where you can really access the app quickly. And that's all to do to try and help you get up to speed as fast as possible. So really simple thing, but saves me tons of time looking for where this app shortcut could be. And then if all else fails, you need to now start looking at your installation. So things like your firmware. Are you running the latest firmware for the Osmo? If not, definitely advisable to always upgrade to the latest firmware. You could also try reinstalling the app. That also helps. Now let's go into the audio issues. Audio issues, primarily the main issue is to do with unusable internal mic audio. Now this has been the biggest complaint by far from any new Osmo owner. The fact that, straight out of the box when you press record and you listen back to that audio, it sounds terrible. It's completely unusable. But there are definitely quite a number of solutions to that problem. So let's go through some of these solutions. The first one is straightforward. You just have to use an external microphone. Now there's a couple of microphones that are already tried and tested, and I'm not going to be recommending one over the other here, but I'm just listing the ones that I've used successfully with no issues at all. The Rode Video Mic Pro and the Video Micro, they both are very good candidates for use with the Osmo. Very easy to install with the accessories as well. The Sennheiser wireless, which is my preferred choice, but there's several other microphones that you can use. So obviously when you use an external microphone, you're able to get much cleaner audio, and that is one way to solve it. But of course it increases the footprint of your Osmo rig. It becomes bigger, bulkier, but hey, if you're getting better audio as a result of this, then you can't really complain, can you? Then one other option which you may want to consider is to record good audio separately to your Osmo's bad audio. So although the Osmo's bad audio is quite bad, it is usable for synchronization purposes. And I'll show you a little demonstration of how I do it. So the audio sync method I normally use when I want to free up the Osmo rig, or the way I'm using the Osmo, of anything other than having just the Osmo itself. Good example of this kind of situation is if I want to put it on a very long say selfie stick or boom pole or something like that, where if I have a microphone on the end of that, it will make it really difficult for me to maneuver the Osmo the way I want to do it. So in that case, I typically leave the Osmo free of any microphone attachment. So I'm using the dirty audio that I record from the Osmo, but I have a second camera in this example, a GoPro camera, where I've mounted the right microphone that is capturing the correct audio that I want. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So I've got this, first of all, the DJI clip. If I play that back,
hello, today it's
so really bad audio quality, but at the same time I've got this GoPro which I'm shooting at the same time, which has got my good audio.
So first but it's going to be in slow motion.
Okay, so you get the idea. So this one's got the dirty track, no microphone attached. This one's got the good audio which I want to use. So obviously what I need to do here is to synchronize the two. So I use an app called Plural Eyes, and Plural Eyes is really very simple to use. The version that I'm using is Plural Eyes 3, but I know there's already Plural Eyes 4, which is even more superior than the one that I'm using. So all I have to do is click this button to add my media. Then typically if you've got several clips, it's advisable to choose clips from a similar camera first. So say I had several DJI clips, I'll choose all of those first, then click add, and this Plural Eyes app brings that timeline, bring this clip to the timeline. And then I want to add my second source, which is the GoPro. Notice this is already grayed out because it recognizes I've already got this in the Plural Eyes timeline. Click add, and this is added to the second track. So you can see already just by comparing the waveforms of these two that this one already looks like it's got the quality that I want. And then all I have to do is click this button here called synchronize, and within seconds, and I'm going to do this in real time, within seconds the two clips are synchronized. So here we go. Boom, that's it. So this is the correct positioning, already synchronized. And then all I have to do is to export my timeline. In this case I want to export it to Premiere Pro. You can choose to create a sequence with audio content replaced in video clips. I'm gonna deselect that because I'll choose the audio that I want on my own. Click export, choose a directory that you want to export to, let's say that one, click open, and then it exports that file. And then all you have to do within Premiere Pro is identify where the exported XML is. This is the one. Click the XML file, click import, and then it creates this synced sequence. If I double click that, you can see that if I play this audio, if I play this back.
So first but it's going to be in slow motion.
So I've synchronized that, but I actually want to use the DJI footage, so I bring that on top and it's 100% in sync.
So first, I have this birthday.
I can actually unlink these if I want to and get rid of the poor quality DJI audio and only retain
So first,
but
it's going to be in slow motion. So first, I have this birthday.
So that's just one method to synchronize good audio to the bad audio that you get from an Osmo. But there's several other methods that you can use to synchronize. I just showed you the one with plural eyes, which I think is really easy, and you can use it for a whole host of multi-camera angles and things like that. So the next solution is simply to use your footage as B-roll. So you don't worry about the audio at all, because you don't need to use the audio when you're using footage for B-roll. B-roll is basically clips that you can use to support your narrative or to support your voiceover, whereby you don't rely on the actual audio of that B-roll. So here's a quick example of how we use B-roll in our YouTube channel introduction video.
Maybe.
Yes,
definitely. So anyway, we share so many tips and tricks of how to use a DJI Osmo without getting too technical. All we want is to take this DJI Osmo, go out there and create some great content. We agree on some things like this.
The next solution is simply just to overdub whatever audio you had initially. It's similar to B-roll, but you're just giving it a brand new audio track. This could be a music track, like similar to how we created this video, where the video was shot on DJI Osmo, but we deleted all the audio and just overdubbed a music track. So those are just quick solutions that you can come up with to overcome this terrible audio issue. Now let's move on to the next issue, which is drifting. So for me to demonstrate this, let me just jump into Adobe Premiere Pro for a second. So I've got Adobe Premiere Pro open here. I've got this clip here. So if I just open that in the source monitor here and play that back, this is a time-lapse sequence, but you can see that the gimbal was really moving all over the show over this period of whatever time I was doing the time-lapse. So that really doesn't look usable at all. So here's one trick that I want to show you that you could try if you've got this feature. So let's create a sequence with that clip. Okay, so there we've got that random gimbal movement, which unfortunately you cannot lock down. This is a known issue with DJI. I've read quite a few articles in the forums, and as of the time I'm recording this video, there is no fix to prevent that gradual gimbal drift, and sometimes it can even be as exaggerated as it is here. But when you're in an editing software such as Adobe Premiere Pro, you can apply this effect called the warp stabilizer. And what the warp stabilizer does is it tries to even out all the movement that it sees mostly in the two axis, horizontal, vertical axis. But that might also result in a cropping of your image. It might result in the frame being cropped slightly, but that's because it needs to compensate for that stabilization which will be applied. So all you do is you drag it onto the footage, and then what it does behind the scenes, it starts analyzing, if you can see here, and tries to reorient each frame so that it's in a more or less relatively similar position from beginning of the video to the end of the video. So this is a process that takes quite a while. You can see right now we're on about 10% done. So I'm simply going to pause the video for now and come back when we're nearly done. Okay, so we're nearly at the end, 99% there. You see it's stabilizing now and done. You see that slight crop that it made? That's because of the way this actual effect works. It needs a little bit of leeway in order to orient all the frames in a uniform orientation. So it needs that little bit of room. That's why that crop happens. But let's just play this back and see what it looks like. So that's a whole lot more stabilized. Actually, let me drag the same clip here to see a before. So there's kind of like a before. You can see it's all over the show. Now let's look at the one that's been warp stabilized. So a whole lot better there. So that's just one simple method that you can use to get rid of this annoying drifting that you sometimes see with time-lapse videos. And now the last one that I'll look at is Facebook Live. Facebook Live is a new feature that came recently with the latest update to the firmware. So the best way for me is to actually show you Facebook Live in use. To broadcast live on Facebook is really simple. All you need to do, obviously, make sure you've got a Facebook account. That goes without saying. And this could be your personal account or your page account. It really doesn't matter. You'll be given options within the app to select which of your Facebook properties you want the live video to go to. So you simply hit the DJI Go app. Then you select this gear icon here. And then all you do is you select the Start Facebook Live. Now, I've already currently linked my profile to the DJI Go app, so you might see a slightly different. You probably see it like this. All you need to do is just simply log in with Facebook. In my case, it's saying I've already authorized the DJI Go app. If you haven't done this before, you will see a notice, or it will request you to confirm whether you want to authorize the DJI Go app with Facebook. Simply click OK, and it brings you to this page. So all you need to do now is simply click Go Live, and don't worry, you're not live as yet when you click that. It then gives you an option to do several things. First of all, you can choose whether you want to go to your main profile or any one of these pages. So in my case, I own several pages, so I'm simply going to select this one, video file, which is one of my pages, and then I can name it testing the, let's say, the live feature. Then when you're happy with that and you're absolutely sure this is what you want to do, you can also select whether you want that live broadcast to go public, to go to your friends, or to go to only yourself. So I'm simply going to leave it on only me, because this is just a simple test that I want to do. Click done, and then when you click Go Live, it'll give you a countdown, and we're actually broadcasting live right now. So we now can see the live video. Of course, there's nothing happening because it's just a stationary shot, and you can hear my sound back. Hello world! Hello world! You can see that on. So this is exactly what we mean by it's very, very choppy. Hello world! Hello world! We are live! Hello. And when you're finished with the live broadcast, all you do is you click live again, and then you click end Facebook Live, and now it confirms that the testing the live feature live stream for 2 minutes 37, although a lot of that is just choppy rubbish, to be honest. Your video has been posted to your timeline. Yippee! So let's go and check out there we go. This video has now ended, and if we go on my timeline, we can see the video now has been posted on my timeline here. So if I play that back, live right now. So just to check that, what I would do, and live. Yeah. So as you can hear, it's very, very, very choppy. You can see that on the app. Hello world. Hello world. It's very, very choppy. We are live. There we go. So that's the live feature. So the method that I would recommend is using an app known as Periscope. Periscope is an app which is actually linked to your Twitter account, And it's really very simple. It's one of the easiest ways to broadcast your live video from your mobile phone to the world, basically. And it works via Twitter. So if you want to find out more about how Periscope works, I'll suggest you just Google or even search on YouTube. There are plenty of videos that will show you what Periscope is all about and how it actually works. But what I want to show you is how Periscope integrates with a drone, or in our case, the Osmo. So when you click the Go Live button, which is this button here, it's basically picked up that you're currently connected to a drone. And the moment you click, so that's the little symbol here that's currently selected. If you don't want that, you obviously click that, and then it will show us, in this case it's pointing up at the camera that I'm currently using to record this video. So let's go back to the drone footage. There we go. I keep calling it drone footage. It's actually Osmo footage, but in this app. So when you click Start Broadcast, so you are now live broadcasting to the world, and this is much more reliable way to broadcast. And this way you can get the broadcast coming directly to your Twitter feed. And if you've linked your Twitter feed to your Facebook account, you can then get the same live video from your Osmo via Periscope going to your Facebook account. And this is the most reliable way that I've tried out. I mean, I don't really use Periscope that much, but at least this is one method that you could try if you really want reliable Facebook live video rather than using the built-in app, which is really, really choppy. So we've got one person joined, yippee! But anyway, I'm simply gonna stop the broadcast.
So I hope you guys found today's video useful. If you guys have experienced any challenges with your Osmo, we'd love to hear about this and how you solved the issue. It's really easy. Simply use the comment section down below to share your experiences. We will go through each and every contribution, and at the end, we will select one comment to win the Most Helpful Award. Dun. So the winner of that award will receive Everest and Savannah color grading LUT packs from Osmo Tips. That's 40 custom made color grading LUTs for your trouble. So don't delay, tell us your Osmo solutions today and stand to win this fantastic prize worth $49. Now, you guys know that's a lot of money. Make it rain. Till next time, take great care of you and the Osmo, of course. Ciao, ciao.
Audio Jungle.